Happy Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the shop. It's May 20th. Today, planned on being outside so I can get the struts, all the struts attached, so that way the wing mounting would be completed. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has other plans. So I got to work inside, and the shop is a mess, so I've got to start by cleaning that. I've got to figure out where I want to put the fuselage. I still have to, in the last video, I still have to attach these on the side. So I'll get some recording of that when I'm doing that, and then that'll probably just get stood over by the door just so it's out of the way. Then I'm going to bring the wings up on the bench and get the, I don't know, wherever I've got them. I think it's over here. Yep. We're gonna drill the holes in all the mounts for the wing struts. Get those all drilled and mounted and ready to go. All this is gonna take me probably, I don't know if I can get this done in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get all this stuff taken care of and mounted. Then I need to figure out how I can try to get these struts. At least start working on it today, because I want to try to get the struts done today. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd like to at least give it a shot. So I'll bring you back in from time to time just to show you where I've progressed through. Maybe do a couple little speedy up videos when I'm doing some assembly work. But that's about it. So hopefully I'll have something good for you today. We'll see how things go. Be right back. Alright, I'm ready to go ahead. I've got this already mounted to the other side of the plane, onto the left side of the plane. So I figured I'd bring it back just to show you how everything gets set up on the right side, just so you see how my mind works. Alright, what I did with these is I went ahead and set up in the drill press, did a little countersink with a hole through it. They're both the same size screw. I had to modify the one that fits down lower. The top one will go through and set in here in the recess. But because this is too big to fit between the gap, I used the drill press like a vertical lathe. I just came in with a file, spun this, filed it down on the outside, and then I retapered it so it's all nice and shiny. So this will go through the middle and then sit flush in the bottom. There we go, just like in the top. And I put an extra hole in the top. What I'm going to do, I decided that I'm going to epoxy these in. I'm going to put some epoxy in because I don't ever want to have them fall out. So I'll probably epoxy it. I may even epoxy the screws in. That way, if I have to take it off and it ruins where it goes into the plane, in the event of something catastrophic, I can drill it out and put a piece of pine dowel into it and re-drill a hole, and then it's good to go. So I figured, you know what, let's just go ahead and play it safe. So you can see how much screw sticks out the back side of this, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Now, let me bring you up here just so you can kind of see what I had to do. This down here, sorry about that, this has to be parallel to the mounting rib up on the top. So what I'm going to do, I say parallel, it's got to be perpendicular. I'll get it right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and here's the leading edge, and I'll come back here to the trailing edge and make a mark. Then I'll come in with my little flat bar stock and put in a center line. So this line, I'm hoping you can see it good enough. This is the center line of the root rib. So then what I'll do from here, let me see if my long square works. Yeah, it's not really long enough. Let's use this one because I know this one will be long enough. Now what I did is down below, I put a center mark of the piece of spruce going through, and this is where this has to line up. So what I can do up on top, let's see if I can get you centered in nicely enough. What I can do is get this centered up and even with this line. I'm going to have to do it a little bit differently because it just doesn't want to touch. Alright, I just struck a line. And what that line's going to denote is the center of the attachment point down here. Let me go ahead and zoom you in a little bit just so you can kind of see what I'm going to have to do here. This right here, if you can see it, that's the center line. So that does come down and meet up with my little dot I put down there, just to make sure everything's properly lined up. Now for this, because I've got holes drilled in the center of it now, it just makes it easier for me to line this up. I can line this up, trace around the outside of it, and this is what I'm going to relieve. I'm going to go ahead and cut the wood out of this little block, and that'll go all the way down to the plywood on the other side. So if I could find an X-Acto knife. Alright, now that I've got my X-Acto, let's go ahead and just strike these lines. And remember, this doesn't have to be pretty because this is going to get all taken care of. I've got to put in little blocks. So between little blocks of balsa that'll be sanded down, and then sorry, myself talking with a sharp knife in my hand. It's one of the things I have a hard time doing. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep notching this down. And then I'll come in probably with just a flat bladed screwdriver and just go ahead and start busting this out. Little screwdriver will work nicely. Alright, now what I had to do on the other side, I'm going to have to do it to this side too, is I'm going to have to take this landing gear off and remove this first screw because it's going to get in the way. I'm going to have to make a new rear mount for each side, so that's going to take me, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to make 2 new ones. I just need to relocate it, so instead of being directly in the center, I need to have it rotated off to one side just a little bit, just so that the screws don't hit each other. So I can come on in with this piece here, get it set in a position. I can run this screw in just to show you. Just to show you that when this thing goes in and it gets epoxied in, this is not going to come out. It's not going to go anywhere. I mean, it's going to be good as gold where it's sitting. I just run it until I bump that other screw, and now it's just a matter of me just taking this apart and then running it in. So it's not all that difficult. The reason why this had to be 90 degrees. Let me scan you back out. The only reason why this had to be 90 degrees to this is that when these two come in and sit down, the attachment point down here is going to be coming in at this angle. If I had this vertical, it would be coming in kind of cockeyed, and I just figured, you know what, I'll just go ahead and have this sit the proper angle where it needs to be at, just so that I'm not having something that's bent down here at the bottom that's going to be pushed upon and pulled upon. I'd rather have something straight so that when it's through, it's going to be solid with no chance of flexing on it. So that was my goal, and it has been accomplished. So I'll get this thing drilled in, and then I'll probably throw this off in the corner and then finish cleaning off the workbench, and then I'll bring the planes back up again, or the planes, oh my gosh, I'll bring the wings back up again, and we can you can follow me through when I'm putting the new strut mounts on. So I'll bring it back. Hang tight. Alright, I'm back again. I did my intro, didn't realize that the guy who hit his head too many times on the same wing that you're sitting under right now, I didn't hit record. So anyway, here's what I'm doing. I'll just bring everybody back through again. I've already made the cuts on the angle that these need to be at to join up. It's going to get goofy. So that they intersect right in the middle here. So this is the angle it needs to be at. And I had to make an extra removal for a 90 thousandths piece of brass. And what this is going to do, this is going to come and sit between these two halves of the wing strut. So this will sit right in here. This will get epoxied in, and then once this gets dried, I'm going to cross drill with a 5/32, and I'm going to epoxy in a piece of 5/32 brass rod. So that's going to come across this way. So the glue joint, you should never fail because of the way I've got holes cross drilled through this piece of brass. This is going to come through to make sure that these two pieces, these two halves, want to stay together. And what's going to make sure that this does not get blasted out this way is I'm going to come in with some bamboo dowel, and I'm going to cross drill 90 degrees pretty, not right alongside this, but really close to alongside this, fore and aft of it, and then I'm going to epoxy those in. So once the bamboo is in, nothing should ever come apart on this, and that's my goal, is to never come apart on this. So alright, anyway, where we're at right now, I just want to make sure nothing's touching the back of these when I'm going to be gluing it up, because I don't want anything else getting in the way. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some epoxy. I'm going to lay down some wax paper, and then I've got a clamp right here that I'm hoping is going to do a good enough job clamping. Otherwise, I'll just be standing here whistling incoherently while this sets up. And then from there, it's get out the drill and start drilling, and hopefully have it done. This piece, I haven't cut the end to length or rounded it off, because I want this all solid. I want it mounted back up on the bottom of the wing to see what I'm going to have to chop off to get it to fit inside this slot over here. Over there, right there. So, alright, let's get moving. going to have to do here real quick is just going to be a quick little heads up once I get this attached, and I'm calling it a night because I beat myself up pretty well. Alright, this has to go on a certain way. That's the back, this is the front. And I've got little spacers that I'm putting in, which you can't see right now, so you'll have to wait and try to see it at a later date. I got to figure out if I want to make some kind of spacer a permanent in the fixture or not. Look at that. Well, it needs to be cut a little bit. Whew, I'm sweating. Got to do a little tweaking, but I can get it. That one made me break a sweat. Alright, what I need to do up here is, because the spacer goes here, this, I need to just shave a little bit of this. Just put an angle. Oh geez, I'm hoping that you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm sticking you too close. I just need to shave this piece off here. I got to round it over so that fits in better. So this screw will go in all the way like that. I just have to work on it. The front, I have to shim it out because that's the way. I mean, there was just that much slop built into the system. But this piece here does come up, and as you can see, it meets that right in the middle. That's where it's supposed to be. So this will come up, be approximate right about there. So all I really need to do is just round this off and shave it down just a little teeny bit, and it's good to go. So, and then these, if they need to go up, which they'll probably have to go up a little bit, I'll just spin these things out of turn and then throw it in there. So, now you can probably see the sweat on my head. Alright, yeah, it's hot though. It's way too hot in here right now. So anyway, one wing strut, the main part built. I've got to do the jury strut, which when this gets put up inside here and mounted, that'll rest comfortably there. Here's the jury strut mount right here. Rotate the camera so I can see when I'm pointing at. So here's where the jury strut's going to mount to here. So this will come directly down from the wing down to here. There'll be two mounts here for the crossbar, and then the jury struts will just go straight up to that. I still haven't decided if I want to make it out of tubing or if I want to make it out of wood. Either way, I mean, I can do wood. It's not that big of a deal. So who knows? Maybe I'll make them out of wood. I mean, in real life, this was all aluminum tubing, and even going across here, going up to there was aluminum tubing. So, you know, if I want, I could just get some round stock. Maybe I'll do that. It's quicker. Put some round stock in, drill some holes up through here, attach it up to here, attach it. Then I'll have these come out. They'll have a little L bracket here, straight down to a little sloped out kind of sort of L bracket heading down this way, and that'll all get screwed together, and we'll just call it done. So, jury struts are simple. They've got a very important job, but they are very simple to make, and I can just go ahead and if I don't like these the way they are and they're made out of wood, it's easy enough just to make new ones. You don't have to tear anything apart. It's all out in the open. But here are the mounts that I made. Bolts in across here. I reinforced the plate in between, so it actually has plywood in between. So these are all good to go, bolted up. They're not going anywhere. So, one step closer. One step closer. So, got a real busy week. This is the last week. I think today's the 20th. So it's the last week before Memorial Day weekend. And at work, we're doing a store reset. It's really bad time to turn the whole store around. I mean, we're pretty much, it's been all redesigned. The whole store planogram is different. So for those of you who've been in retail, you know what I'm talking about. So been working every day this week, so, you know, hey, OT, I'll take some overtime. Long days, and my next day off is Saturday, so that's when you'll most likely see me back down here in the shop. And I'm hoping it's going to be sunny out so we can go outside and play. because it'll be a 3-day, well, 2-day. I got to work that Sunday, but I'll have the Monday off, I think, unless, I don't know, if I'm working Memorial Day, I'm working Memorial Day. But regardless, just looking at that, and you can see it, she's getting closer. So I'm going to take this down, because even though, you know what, it's not going anywhere. It's taking about a pound of weight to tip it over. My thing is, I've just got some Velcro holding the landing gear on, so maybe I will go ahead and take the wing off, because last thing I want to have is this thing broken. So anyway, Saturday night, time to go upstairs, get some sleep. See you guys on the flip side. Later.